All right, everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Chris. First time we're meeting face to face, so it's a little awkward. I'm trying my best. So, today, what we are going to do is put a couple little upgrades on a bone stock Glock 19. Free and clear. Stay position. No one else is down here with me, so we're in good shape. This is actually a buddy's gun. He bought it the other day and asked me if I could do a couple things to it. So, we're going to, or I've already added this Overwatch Precision trigger shoe to the stock trigger bar. We're going to install that. I had this spare Holosun 507C. He wanted the FDE, so we're going to put the FDE on this black gun. And we've also got a Streamlight TLR7A. So this is actually a really quick couple upgrades you can do for the Holosun. Just need to pop this plate off. You got a MOS plate, put that on, put the plate on top, you're good to go. With the trigger bar, you have to take the slide off and pull the trigger housing out, which unfortunately for YouTube, can't show you how to do that, but I can show you the aftermath. So, and that trigger shoe, it's not going to affect the trigger pull. It's actually really good for a Glock 19. What it's going to do is where that trigger shoe sits so far up, you got so much take up right there, that's going to reduce that take up by quite a bit. Okay, I have my calipers. So what we're going to do is once this gun is fully cocked and the trigger is ready for the press to drop the firing pin, we want to take these calipers and measure from the front of this trigger to the back of the trigger guard just to see where the start position is. And I'll show you guys once I get it locked in. This is not extremely scientific because I'm just a redneck in the garage, actually in my basement. All right, so stock is about 0.65 inches, give or take. Again, it's not exact because I'm just a redneck in my basement. So we're going to slide the trigger back. First thing first is we are going to work on getting the red dot on. We got to take the slide off anyway. We'll go ahead and take the slide off, put the dot on. Then, unfortunately, I can't show you how I take the trigger housing out or put the trigger shoe or put the bar on, but I'll show you what's after. So let me set up the camera so you can see me doing the red dot. All right, so what you need to do here to take the slide off, press the trigger, not ready. Grab it about a quarter or an eighth of an inch back. You hear a little tiny click. These slide releases on each side. Grab it, pull down both sides, and the slide comes right off. We won't need this. This right here is actually the part we're going to be taking out later to change that trigger bar. Unfortunately, I can't show you, but you just have to pop that pin out and that pin out, take the locking block off, and the slide stop slide release, and that just pulls out. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you that process, but I can show you this. T10 Torx, everybody's best friend when you're working with guns. T10, you need them all the time. So you want to take this plate off. And actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and Oh my God, he didn't clean this. Okay, anyway, that's what it looks like without the plate on. From here, we are going to take this plate and these screws, which again, this is a used plate, it's not brand new. Goes right on like this. Put those screws in here, put a little bit of Loctite on it, which I got right here. Always use blue. Torque that down to about 12 inch pounds, which I got to fix the stick here. Then the red dot will sit right on here. You got those two little notches there. They sit in here, screw down into there with some Loctite, and torque that down to about 15 inch pounds. Then you want to let that Loctite cure for about 24 hours before you shoot. So let's go ahead and get this and get it rolling. All right, so you want to take, you don't want to put a lot of Loctite, just enough. So I usually put my finger on it there, hold it on there, get that bubble out of the way, and about that much, give or take. And put it in. And we'll do this part finger tight, finger tight. Get the next one, repeat the process. I mean, this is one of the simplest upgrades you can do to any pistol, not just a Glock. Put that on, and we are finger tight. Take your torque spit out, grab your fix it stick, put that in there, and you can see right here, if I can get it to focus, you got 0, 5, 10, 15 inch pounds. You put that in, then you twist. I'll show you. And in, and then you just turn, or do this on camera. There's about 12 inch pounds. Then you repeat the process on the second side. It's just about 12 inch pounds. I do it 2 or 3 times just to be safe. All right, that is torqued down. That's good. Now, your next step is to get your red dot, which I have right here. And again, remember, these posts will go into these first 2 holes right here. And what that does, it helps stabilize the dot. Of course, the screws do hold it on there too, but the post stabilize it. So when it's in motion, retracting on the slide, recoil, it just absorbs some of that shock. Okay, so set that on there. And you want to repeat the same process with the screws on this that you did on your plate. So here, that looks good. Might be a little much, but we're good. Then you want to just drop it down in there. And again, finger tight for now. We'll go back and torque it down. And repeat the process over here. Again, this is a dirty screw. I'm reusing it. I should have cleaned it, but it'll be fine. I've never had a problem. And again, repeat the process again until we're finger tight. There we go. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, you want to torque these screws down to about 15 inch pounds. So we'll do the same thing. Take your fix-it stick or your torque wrench, whatever you got. Yeah, find the hole. There we go. And 15 inch pounds. You see that? 15 inch pounds. Repeat. 15-inch pins. Again, just like before, do it 2 or 3 times just to be sure. All right, there you go. The Holosun is mounted. And what I'm going to do for him too, I have a laser bore sighter. I'm going to put that on the barrel. And I know in my basement, from one corner to the other corner is roughly about 12 yards. So I'm going to rough zero it for him. So when he gets it back and takes it out to the range to actually zero it, it won't take nearly as long. All right, so we'll put this off to the side. And again, like I said, what we're going to do next, which again, I wish I could show you, but I can't. We're going to pop this pin, locking block, slide release, pull this out. And this bar right here that connects to that disconnector, that is what's going to be changed. It's all OEM. Only thing I did was pop that out. I'll pop back in here in a second and at least point out to you what you have to pop out. Okay, so here is the trigger shoe and the trigger bar. And you pop that out. There's a pin right there. You can see it. Trying to get the light on it. There we go. Trying to focus now. Pin right there. That's got to be drove out. But if you notice on this side, it's flush. Take an armor's block and a skinny punch and just drive it out. This shoe is most likely going to get jacked up, but that's just the way it is. It happens. New shoe on a stock trigger bar. Slide the bar through there, line up the hole, and I drove that pin through. Easy peasy. That took literally all of the hardest part was driving that pin out of the other trigger shoe. Putting this on took probably 5 minutes, if that. So we're going to put that back on the housing, back in the gun, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Here is the finished product. Gun is clear. And I don't know if you all can tell how much further back that is, but that turned out really nice. I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to swap cameras, or swap camera view, and we'll take some measurements, then we'll put that stream light on. Okay, and we're back. So, like I said before, if you remember on the stock trigger in here, it was about 0.65 inches from front to back, give or take. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a redneck in a basement. So, gun's ready. Let's turn on the calipers, zero it, and see what we come up with here. And again, not scientific. It's not exact. Oh, crap. .52. So it went from 0.65 to 0.52 inches from front. It was, just a little bit further up. I mean, that's a good bit. It's not dramatic, but there's the wall now and the brake. Again, this is for a Glock 19 stock. This trigger is actually really good. He lucked out on this. So, last thing is Streamlight TLR7. This one is really simple here. Got a universal key. And you can see on the back of the Glock, on the bottom, it's got one little slot there. This lip will line up in here. Push that open, put it on, and tighten her down. You don't necessarily need to use a screwdriver. And you don't need to. There you go. Finished product. Only other thing I would do, of course, this is not my gun. This is my friend's gun. Like on, let me clear it here. This is my Glock 47. And again, clear gun. We have a lot of the same stuff. I put suppressor height sights. I have a Vortex Defender ST and I'll TLR 7A. My trigger is the Apex Tactical Kit. I got that from Ben Stoker's Pro Shop. But again, same thing. It doesn't really change the break, the weight, but it does reduce the take up. And again, this was before it was stock, or before I changed it, it was stock, so it was probably just about the same thing as the other gun. And 0.54 inches. So quite a dramatic little change in the take up. But mine is Glock 19 compared to a Glock 47. I mean Glock 45. Glock 45 just has the 17 grip, 19 length. Only thing I would do that he hasn't done is this magwell, Springer Precision. I got that off Stoker's Pro Shop as well. And then this little back strap right here. This back strap from Chiral Defense. It reduces the Glock angle. You see how steep that is right here. So when you grip it, you kind of got to break your wrist over to get it lined up. And no one else is down here, so I'm not flagging anybody. You have to break your wrist down a little bit to get it lined up. Not dramatic. If you shoot Glocks enough, you get over it. But this kind of, you don't have to press forward, break your wrist over quite as much. And it's rubber, it's got a little shock absorber, so it is what it is. I like it. And I also put handle it grips on it, the rubber grip, because Glock is not known for the best grip. It's actually kind of shoddy. But again, my friend's Glock 19 Gen 5. Overwatch Precision trigger shoot. Holosun 507C. Streamlight TLR 7A. And that took a whole 10 or 15 minutes to do. Working on this stuff's not hard. And again, there's mine. We'll go over this again. We'll go over this gun in a couple days. Have a lot of stuff planned. I got a match coming up in 2 weeks. I'm going to film a lot. I have probably 15 or 20 video ideas already planned out. So this is our first face-to-face. Hopefully we get more. I got some range time coming up, hopefully in a couple days. Get some good stuff then. So keep in touch. Keep watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And leave a comment down below if you have any ideas on what you might want me to do next. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.